Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to CyberCast IRL. I am your host, Daniel Lowry. We're for the next hour stuck with each other. We're going to have a good time, though. We're going to warm ourselves by the glow and hearth of the cybersecurity dumpster fire, because that's what we do. And it will be fun. At least I hope it is anyway. I know I normally have a pretty good time doing this. This is one of my favorite things I get to do throughout the week, to hang out with you good folks out there, talk some cybersecurity stuff, maybe get into a rant or two, do a little bit of tech next, right? Because that's everybody's new favorite thing now, right? Is me turning into some crazed, just like bumpkin from North Central Florida. But it's fun. I am that guy, so it's fine for me to become that when I need to. Hopefully you enjoy it, though. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk cybersecurity. For those of you that might be new, I know I'm looking at the chat. We got tons of great folks that are here every week, and let me just thank you all that come every week and hang out with me and talk in chat and support the community and hang out in our Discord. I forgot to update the Discord link. I will do that. Don't worry. Actually, I'll drop it in chat right now for those of you that need it. Can I? Oh, goodness. What did I do with stinking Discord? Where are you, Discord? Come to me. There it is. Grab the Discord link. Do that now. Before I forget, copy, and then bam, here it comes. Paste. Booyah. That is the most current Discord link. I was going to make it permanent, but then I was like, nah, I think it's better if we just let it roll every so often it rolls over to something new. But there you go. So we're going to be talking that goodness today about cybersecurity. That's what we do. That's what this show is all about. You got a hot take on something, you're interested in something cybersecurity, you got questions about it, this is the place to come and hang out with other people that are like-minded and want to help you get those answers, or maybe, just be a part of your solution in some way, shape, or form, or just be a sounding board, a vent. Come here and vent your anger and frustration. This is why in the Discord, we have the whole burnout alley, because it will catch up to you eventually. You will eventually feel the burn from the dumpster fire. It's not just warming you. You're going to get too close to the sun and put your hand on it. And you're going to go, I don't like that. That is hot. And, probably say a few colorful expletives when you do that. But that is something that does happen. So this is a safe space for that. You come here, hang out, be pissed off about something. We're totally there for you to support. Now, that said, you very well may get some kickback, because this is an open forum. You get to bring, and as long as it's cybersecurity related, we're not going to hear talk about politics and religion. That's for the other podcasts, right? This one is about cybersecurity. So as long as it's cybersecurity focused, we're going to have a good time. Let's check in with chat. That's going to be good. Let's see who's out there today. Super user do. Not a deep question. Is there a way to set up an auto start Postgres kicking off Metasploit? Working on labs. I'm sure there is. Probably just a good bash script will help you out with that. But you'll notice that Super User Dude did something very interesting here and made it very easy for me to see their comment. What is wrong with where's the thing? That is interesting. Okay. So normally, apparently I love it when technology really gives me a good kick in the midsection. Because normally I can press my control button and then it kind of shows you where my mouse is. But today it's decided to not do that. You can see Victor Rosa is showing. You see they're adding my name and it pops out as red. I see that really easily. So if you want to catch my attention, that's the best way to do it. Victor Rosa. Also remember what I mentioned to you in Discord. Yes, Victor, we will get to that. I think that was a great topic of conversation. We are totally going to bring that up. But who's in here? We got Sierra Montgomery, Random X Skills, Random X Skills. You got to throw the Z on there because it's way cooler. Space Tacos, Wayne's Real World. Wayne's Real World, by the way, if I missed your comment, he's kind of our official, unofficial moderator. So if I'm not seeing something, if I miss something, he's going to make sure to try to help get that to my attention. We are but humble men, so we might still miss it, but we do our level best, right? Jeffrey Johnson in the house. Who else we got in here? Nerdpocalypse. Got some of the best funny in the Discord. Great stuff. Outlaw 11, my man, good to see you. Crystal Nolan. My brain is not yet on, and we'll have to turn it on here in just a minute. Get some tackling fuel in there. Who else we got? Phil Stafford. What's up, Phil? Good to have you, brother. Carrie, of course, would not be a show without Carrie in the house as well. And I think there's a few others. I saw Tech Ricky, Duke Norris. I think even Jerry popped in. Lots of great people in here today. So thank you all for showing up. If you are new, say hello. I know it's fun to lurk. Morning gang, find the truths in there. It's fun to lurk, but don't lurk. Just at least say hello. Say good morning. Oil Digger LWD, good morning from Lafayette, Louisiana. Good to have you. Thank you for showing up. That is not a name tag that I am familiar with, so I'm glad to see there's some new people out there hanging out with us. So remember, if you have a question, you have a comment, you got something you want to bring to the attention, just at my name or start spamming Wayne, and we'll see what we can do about doing that. That said, I have got to do the morning pour. It is that time. So, again, for you new folks out there, we just a little thing called the morning pour, a little ASMR for your morning, where I take the Lord's camo cup here. I get my microphone just so that we can hear the lovely, lovely sounds of Neckbeard telling me he made it. Now, we're going with a Zero Monster this morning, Zero Sugar Monster. Today's Zero Sugar Monster is Ultra Blue Hawaii. You'll probably notice the trend in what we're doing. I'm trying to rotate around, but I've got a whole case of these. The guava one, which I do love, and then the passion, I forget. I can't remember the names. We got a couple of fallen soldiers up here. Maybe it's time to rotate some new ones in, but yeah, today's Ultra Blue Hawaii. This is a pretty good one. I do enjoy the Ultra Blue Hawaii. Great, by the way, great can design for the people over at Monster doing art, because it's really cool. Like, that's why I'm proud to display them. They got some really cool stuff going on with the can art. So yeah, big fan of that. So let's get to it, shall we? Get to the crack. Let's get a good crack. Come on, good crack this morning. Let's see. And a little fizz on top of it. Actually, pretty good crack. I think we're off to an epic start. All right, let me get that microphone. Let's make it happen. Pour, 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 pour. Oh, I got a lot of ice this morning because I forgot to chill it last night. Get out of the way, Ice Cube. I need a clean spot. Oh, I'm not going to make it this morning. Too much ice. I did what I can. I still have we got enough left for a baby pour next. So once I get a little bit of this out. Oh, yeah, man. Okay. Needed that. You are tasty. Tastes good when it hits your lips because it's delicious. Yes, the pour, everyone. Excellent. Thank you so much. Oh, man, that is good. For those of you that don't know, I absolutely love Monster Energy drinks quite a bit. I can't even show you over there. Cans just everywhere. I find it hard to find fault with anything they make, just about. I don't really like. I need to start testing some that are not zero sugar, just to kind of check the temperature of the water when it comes to the non-zero sugar stuff. But I do not like the OG green and black can. That is panther piss. This is disgusting. But this stuff is amazeballs. I love it. Baby pour. Can I get it all? Little fizz on the top. It wasn't much, but it was enough. It's enough. All right. I'm going to get the lid on this before I start spilling things over here. All right. Enough of that. We're all good. All right. I'm feeling like a little discombobulated this morning. I don't know what's going on. All right. Now, let's get into you good folks in the chat room. Hang out a little bit. Now, Victor Rosa brought something up earlier. Where is that at? Neckbeard saying he made it. Good morning. He guessed pink. He guessed wrong. But hey, none of us bats 1,000, right? It's just how it goes. But where was Victor? There, Victor. I love this. Look at Space Tacos going crazy with the emojis. Loving it. All right, so yeah, he was. This is our friend Victor. And Victor brought up a great question in Discord for today's show as a topic of conversation, and it's all around GRC, right? Just the idea that GRC. Okay, so if anybody's been paying attention to cybersecurity for a hot minute, it kind of like, I don't know. I think of it like a stove, right? And there are burners on. And the hottest one is the one you're typically working with at the moment in time, right? So when I really got into cybersecurity, the hot burner was pen testing, right? It was pen testing, red teaming, doing offensive security stuff. OSCP was really making a name for itself, and you could get a really good job doing a really fun job. And it was just the hot tamale, right? It was the bee's knees. It was the cat's pajamas. Then everybody started running to the gates of get a cybersecurity cert that's in offensive security, and some of other certs started popping up. All of a sudden, it became like a glut. And there were so many people trying to get into pen testing and red teaming and ethical hacking and things of that nature that the competition got really stiff. So people that were looking to kind of transfer from any other IT job or just make their first move into cybersecurity, if that was where they were going, they were met by a sea of candidates for very few opportunities. So as one does, you go, well, maybe that's next year. Maybe that's a couple years down the road. What's other cybersecurity stuff that I could do? And of course, SOC analyst jobs, any kind of blue team defensive thing, they couldn't get enough people at the time. So what happened? I'll move over to SOC analyst. You started seeing like things like CISSP, and then blue team level 1 came out, and then all the other, right? All of a sudden there's a bunch of more certs on being a SOC analyst. And now we have a glut. And now it's like, oh, they're everywhere. And everybody's chasing the next open door. And it's funny you bring this up, Victor. And this is why I wanted to talk about this, is that I was actually talking to Jerry, just about the job market in general and how abysmal it is. And I said, who's really not hurting? GRC. And that was Victor's kind of point. He was like, it seems like GRC, even though, maybe some people might say, I'm not saying I am, I'm not saying you are, some people might say GRC is boring. It is what it is, right? That is a true statement. Some people might say that it is boring, quote unquote. And maybe it is. Maybe you find it boring, but it sure has done well through this storm of layoffs and job reductions and so on and so forth. GRC has done really well. And I told that to Jerry. I was like, Jerry, man, yeah, like you saw this coming a mile away. Kudos to Jerry for being a clairvoyant or just writing on the wall kind of thing. He's into GRC, so that it was easy for him to make that his bailiwick, his hobby horse, and go, I'm going to focus on GRC because I don't see it being focused on. And that's where we're at now. GRC is a great job to get into, because it's required, right? It's in the dang title, right? It's governance, risk, and compliance. Like, you need that. If you're going to be compliant, that means you are required to do things. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's another great play. I can never do GRC. Rain in 2006 says, I can never do GRC. And you know what? I remember, okay, so listen, I identify with that because back when I was first starting off back at IT Pro TV, and I started doing some of the cybersecurity focused certification hosting jobs, and I did CISM and CISA, and it was a snooze fest. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is all basically common sense. Come to find out, fun fact, common sense is apparently not so common. It's just sense. Because it's not common sense. It seems like it would be, but it's not. That's the paradox. That is common sense. It seems like it would be common, and yet people don't do it. And, you know, hey, we're being tongue in cheek here. Obviously, anybody that you ask them, should you do that? They would probably say yes. Then you go, why aren't you? And they go, well, here's the thing, right? And you get a big enough company, you get enough red tape wrapped around stuff, and things start to slip through the crack. And therefore, we need people that come behind you and go, what the hell is that? What's this you got going on over here? And you go, oh, well, it's on our to-do list. We're getting to that. And we need to do that now, right? And that's kind of GRC's stock and trade, is to come behind you and say, hey, we're looking to see if you have done all the things you said you were going to do and should do, because it's a compliance thing, and make that happen. So GRC, while yes, you might find it boring, could you put up with it for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, 3 years? To be honest with you, that's not a long time. I could totally do that, right? Now, there are some special certifications that you would want to go after, and understanding about some very, dry documentation. If anybody's ever looked at the NIST risk framework, bruh, that is not fun reading right there. Our 27001 standard, goodness gracious, right? Any of the NIST special publications are just like, right? It's not fun. But it's a means to an end. And you'll have insights into, once you do transition from that, once things, because it's just the ebb and flow, I think, of cybersecurity. I've seen it happen in the past. It does it with tech as well. It expands, it contracts, it expands, it contracts. It's a stinking, a squeeze box, an accordion. That's how it works. I don't know. It's just, I've been in IT for over 20 some odd years now, and I've seen it happen multiple times. So it's just, I guess we're just in that phase right now. And once the jobs start opening up again, probably sometime next year, you get you a good GRC job. And then, and again, you'll, if you are in GRC, you're going to be able to take that knowledge of, well, I know you need to be compliant in X, Y, and Z ways. So I'm going to start looking for that. And this is what I typically see, how people are not compliant. If I'm a SOC analyst, if I'm doing some kind of sort of defensive blue team role, I'm going to be like, we really need to focus on this, because that is slept on way too often. If you're in a red team role, if you're in a pen testing role, you're in some sort of offensive security role, you're going to go, oh, you know what I know that they don't do? They don't do this. And, oh yeah, look, that's wide open. People dumb. Or they're lazy, or both, or whatever. Things slip through the cracks. I don't want to throw shade on everybody. Let me go check and see what y'all got to say about GRC. Space Taco says, FYI, build up your speed reading and comprehension skills before taking GRC or tackling GRC, because there's a lot of policies that need reading, despite reading being dumb, as I like to tell you. Yeah, that reading dumb as hell, man. I don't even know why even learn. It's just, by the way, I'm being very tongue-in-cheek. If any people are in high school or whatever listen to this, learn to read, and learn to read well. The whole thing about reading's dumb is just it's just to be hee-haw, rib tickle, knee slapping. Hee-haw, isn't that funny? Because rednecks, they don't with the reading, and yeah. Anyway, I'd rather go fishing, right? So let's see here. Ironically, from 400 EMP says, I find NIST the more interesting frameworks to read. Stuff like PCI DSS makes me want to gouge my eyes out. Yeah, actually, I didn't mind PCI DSS, reading through that and kind of getting familiar with it. It was at HIPAA. Even GDPR can get a little meh. Yeah. But I mean, NIST isn't that bad, I guess. That risk framework though. Was it the risk management framework, RMF? Wow. Listen, it is good for your health though to read the risk management framework. So I highly recommend that you do, because it'll cure you of any insomnia that you are suffering from. Oh, well, Wayne knows what we're talking about. He has all the NISTs, and I am what I am because I RTFM. Yeah, that's it. Good for you, Ray. Yeah, own it, baby. So Victor says, I'd like to say that GRC is one, if not the most paid job in cyber. Yeah, it's a great job. I mean, cashing checks every week or twice a month or however they pay out is not a bad way to live right now. So, and they're usually pretty decent. Just saying, if you can get through it, man, I got to go get some GRC certs. That's what's up with Daniel. I can get out of this whole hack stuff mindset. That's just stupid. Payload Payden, what's your thoughts on Heath? Okay, we'll talk about that next. That's a good question. Let's see here. Random X Skill says, I'm a sysadmin who's being pushed into blue teaming, and now I'm being pushed into red teaming my own stuff. So nope, no time for GRC. Hey, that is what it is. If you already got a job, though, if you're already kind of in there and things are going well for you, yeah, there's no reason to pivot out of that. Keep doing what you do. All that stuff, you could end up back there one day anyway. So ride the wave while you're on it, right? You got the board up and you got 10 toes in, baby. All right, let's see here. GRC Mafia checking in. GRC Nerd. What's up, Space Tacos? Good stuff there. Yeah, Space Tacos says, I tell you what, that boring will get your foot in the dadgum door. It gets your foot in the door. That's for sure. Right? So I thought that was a really good question. I thought a really good topic to bring up. Let's see here. Instead of troubleshooting tech, you instead decipher all the regulations and compliance required. Yeah, that's true. You just got to say, how come you're not using the approved encryption type instead of deploy the approved encryption type? MDK, okay. Make a full setup video about Android and iOS RAT. Make sure these are all work in Android 12 plus and 18 plus as well. Okay, that'd be an interesting lab to do. I'm gonna put that on the good ideas list. I like that. Thank you. Let's see here. Oh yeah, and then there's Wayne throwing down. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. He's spamming me. Dev asks, hi, can you tell me what all cybersecurity courses you have recorded? I've done a lot. I don't even know that I can name them all, honestly. I don't own them anymore, or I never did own them, but I don't endorse them anymore because of the company that owns them. And at this point, the ones they do own are very old. I say very old. The last thing I did for them, the company that shall not be named, that is let's see here, was probably CEH 12, maybe. I think it might have been CEH 12. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with CEH 12. But I've done CEH, I've done CISA Plus, Pentest Plus, Security Plus, Cloud Plus, CISSP, CAS Plus, ECIH, a bunch of CEH, obviously. What else in EC Council? There was another one that was like ECIH, but it's CHFI. That's what it is. Cert Nexus, first responder. GSEC from GIAC. I've done CISA, CISM. I've done CCSP, some Azure stuff. It's been a while. Man, yeah, that's just off the dome. OWASP top 10 courses. Bunch of stuff. There you go. So, well, good seeing you, 400 EMP. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Stay away from Excel VBA scripts. You're darn right. Do not hit that download link. That's for sure. Do not hit that. Do not enable the macros. It is a trap. All right. So I forget who it was, but You say that because reading is dumb is hysterical. It is funny. And the fact that it was a true story. Like, I know a redneck that literally said, reading is dumb. Now, in his redneckiness, he meant that for you to be reading right now instead of going fishing is dumb. That's what he meant. But the words that exited his head were reading's dumb. And man, that is just classic redneckery right there, right? That's how that goes. Man, you guys got some good questions today. All right, we want to talk about Heath leaving. Let's get into that. Where was that at? Oh, here it is right here from Payload Payton. So what are your thoughts on Heath Adams leaving TCM? Do you think it was by choice? Didn't you call this a couple of months back when they were bought by Educate 360? So I've been through this, and that's just my prediction, and apparently it came true. Whether or not it was a part of the buyout when they got purchased by Educate 360, I couldn't begin to fathom that. This could very well be Heath just wanting to go. He's like, been there, done that, got the T-shirt. I made a successful business, and I'm ready to do it again. He's getting his MBA in Harvard right now, right? He's at Harvard Business School, getting an MBA. So he obviously has found not that he's ever not going to be passionate about cybersecurity. Obviously, that's his core, but he's found a different passion and he's pursuing it, and he wants to do it again. He wants to see, was this a fluke or do I have the chops? And he feels like he has the chops. I feel like he probably does as well. So it could be a bit of both. Who knows? That's all speculation. We couldn't say unless we were purview to the stuff that was under NDA, I'm sure. I think he's going to do really well because he has done really well. He's a proven success. I wish I was him in some ways. Like he's got the right mentality for risk taking and digging into business stuff. By the way, that's really hard to do. Like running a business is a completely different skill set than just doing cybersecurity. That is a lot of work, and it might not be it. I've found that it is difficult for me to do. I'm good at cybersecurity. I'm good at teaching. I've never run a business before. So now that I'm kind of out on my own a bit and doing contract stuff, it's like, oh man, there's a lot to stay on top of. I got to get this agentic AI thing going on. So, but that is typically how things go, at least from my experience when it comes to your favorite company getting acquired or taking private equity or venture capital. Things are going to change. It's just how it goes. They're going to start growing their business. They're going to start going after more business-to-business dollars instead of consumers like you and me. And from that, they're going to relabel. They're going to revamp. They're going to start building a business product so they can go after those deep pockets and make a bunch of money. That's the purpose of being in business, is that everybody that's kind of running that business makes a bunch of money. And so it's just part and parcel. That's how it goes. And when you start getting down that road, because I know a bunch of people that have started their own businesses and they've started getting successful, and you can see they start getting really busy with running the business instead of doing what it was that started the business. Right? That's just the name of the game. And as the business grows, they're going to be very successful, and they're setting themselves up so that they can have wealth and leisure for them and their family and their, generations down the road. So I can't fault them for wanting to do that. I can see where, maturity comes in as far as I'm talking about myself now. The maturity to see, yes, I hate to lose the thing that was special, right? Trust me, I hate that there is no more IT Pro TV. I loathe that is the world that we live in. It was such a fun, special thing to do. And if there was a way to keep it around, I wish that could have happened, right? But that's just not how it went down. And I'm sure that to some extent Heath feels that way, right? That I wish we could keep and they've done a really good, to be honest with you, through acquisitions that I have seen. I haven't seen a lot or any really degradation of the product brand that is TCM. They continue to put out high quality stuff. They continue to be a voice for the consumer out there, the community. So good for them. And I hope they continue to do that. I hope they can find some cool equilibrium as Educate 360 TCM to continue to do that. That's my hope. I'd love to see that happen because then it becomes a business model that others can follow. See, the reason that they change, at least again, in my opinion, the reason things go the way they go is because that was how success was done. Someone was successful doing it that way, and so everybody else goes, cool, do that. They don't want to have to reinvent the wheel. They just want to see what everybody else is doing that is successful. And it's because most people that take risks, they're going to find some failure in that risk. And then everybody else is kind of sitting around going, watching, how's it going over there? And as soon as someone is successful with something new, everybody jumps on the bandwagon. That's just been my experience with it. So I can't wait to see what Heath is going to do next, honestly. Hopefully it's something cybersecurity related so that he can stay inside our community, but it might not be. Cool. Reading is the devil. So there's my thoughts on that. Tech Ricky, what are your thoughts, predictions on the latest news with RAM, Micron killing Crucial off, right? I haven't dug into this. I've just seen a few random things about RAM. Let me check chat and kind of catch up with what we're talking about with Heath, and then we'll get back to that. Victor Rosa says, I know a way to get Don out of his cave. Hey, Don, I got to reach out to Don. I haven't talked to Don in a hot minute. Just to say hello and what's going on. You got to get Ronnie, West, Sophia, etc. Right? It's hard to go in with everybody as a business partner. Like, you got to make money out of the gates. Everybody's got bills to pay, mouths to feed. It's really difficult to do. We would have to take out like a business loan so that we could float. And then you got to have marketing. It's especially for something like this, where what we're doing, you got to come up with all this stuff. You got to coordinate with each other. How much do we split? What's going to be? It's a lot of work to figure that out. Now, we could just take the old IT Pro TV model and just rehash that. But we would need a backer. We would need somebody with money that would be like a silent partner or a business partner to make that happen. We are not necessarily business people. We are good at what we did at IT Pro TV, which is making the training, which is giving you what you need when it comes to training. But we need some people with business savvy if that were ever going to be a thing. All right, so let's get Don out of his cave. I'm sure he would love to get in front of the camera again. I'm going to try to get him on After Dark, hopefully sometime in the coming year. Outlaw 11 says, I decided this year to do admin of cyber with my own Linux VM. I'm crawling my way through, but learning a lot. Awesome. Good job. Very cool. I hope you learned a butt ton. Let's see here. Thanks for me. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing we need more than in cyber than more MBAs. I kid. No, I don't. That's a funny one, Phil. Good job. I love the hint of sarcasm that you throw on all these little things. Or just, full on engrossed in sarcasm. You need to start putting sarcasm tags around things. Sarcasm. It's like, oh, here comes Phil. Love that. I thought we knew Heath was leaving once he sold TCM. It's a pretty normal thing. Yeah. I don't know if I knew it. I'm not. Jonah Kobia says he's currently doing my CEH V12. Good. I hope you enjoy it. It was a lot of fun to make. Except for there's always one day of filming every time that you're flipping tables and starting couch fires because nothing's working and you don't know why. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Looks like I'm caught up on that. So let's start talking about. Yeah, that's my secret. I always speak sarcasm. Yeah, you're on today, brother. You are on today. Okay, let's talk about this RAM thing that's going on. Es no bueno, right? RAM, I love that at one point it was like dirt cheap. And now it's not apparently going to be. I saw somebody talking about how, because I'm into gaming. I say that. I'm into retro gaming. I'm a big retro gamer. But because of that, gaming bleeds into gaming, and modern platform gaming, whether you're on something like a console or a gaming PC, all that kind of stuff kind of bleeds into my feed a little bit. So I saw something last night where a guy was talking about how this one RAM company, which one was it? I forget, but they kind of specialized in making RAM for gaming consoles and gamers, and they've decided they're not doing that anymore. They feel that at least this is the hearsay that I have through the grapevine, word on the street, is that they're not really going to do that anymore. They're going to focus on RAM for AI purposes. And they were complaining like, you're going to kill gaming because we need that RAM for gaming. You're going to take a console that was $400 or $500 and you're going to make it $1,000, right? And then you're going to take gaming PCs and they're already pricey, and that's just going to be unsustainable. You're going to kill the gaming world. Run out and get you a gaming console right now. Might I introduce you to retro gaming, my friends? Because whatever you got is already going to run retro games. Your phone can run up to like PS2 if you got a modern phone. Maybe even a few PS3 games. So just keep that in mind. And not that you should do that, by the way. Well, let's see. Tech Ricky says Raspberry Pi prices, say that 3 times fast, are being increased because of the RAM pricing. Everything else will soon follow. Yeah, it's about to get stupid, right? Here we go. Thanks, AI. This is why we can't have nice things, AI. Because you keep doing stuff that disrupts things. Code Brew Cyber says DRAM is in basically everything right now, and there's 3 companies that make all of it. Highly recommend Gamers Nexus videos on YouTube if you want to catch up on what's happening. So yeah, it's just gonna be crazy. So yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? It is what it is. I mean, you're gonna start a petition or something like that? Is everybody gonna stop buying things? You could do that. As a possible way is to kind of vote with your dollar and say, hey, we're not going to buy stuff. If you're not going to sell to us, we're not going to buy. They seem to have found a pretty good market without you anyway. So what are you going to do? Save your money and be very selective in what it is you're purchasing. Dang, I hate Raspberry Pis going up in price all the time. It's like the whole purpose of these single board computers and system on a chip stuff, is to be a cheap way to do things, to dev at home and to build. And yeah. Oh, looks like Gallo says lurker here. I just happened to see your thing. Speaking of retro gaming, I just got the 8-bit dough. Is it 8-bit dough or 8-bit do? I think people say 8-bit dough. You got the retro keyboard N version. Nice. I absolutely love it. $65. Yeah, they make great stuff. I've got an 8-bit dough SNES, but like it's SNES styled, but it's a modern controller. It doesn't have analog triggers, but it's wireless. It connects to my phone. Does a really great job. I love that thing. I've had it for a few years now. I think it was about $35 when I bought it. Honestly, I wouldn't get the wired one next time. I would get the wireless one. I would get the wired one. Just because, so what, right? So I'm plugging it in. Big deal. Welcome to my life. Super Zoomy says, did you see that Crucial is getting out of consumer RAM business because better support to AI, right? Maybe that was the company that I was talking about earlier. Maybe it was Crucial. Crazy, right? This is the world we live in, kids. Man, it's 10:40. Can't believe that. This 40 minutes has gone by fast. All right, let's see what else you guys are talking about. I think eBay is about to be picked clean of any hardware that's been made within the last 5 years. Yeah, good point, Tech Ricky. You know what's probably going to happen? And put that on top of the people that are like, oh, I now no longer have a Windows 11 compliant laptop. So sell all these on eBay, recoup some of that price. You know, they're going to be dirt cheap. And then people like us can buy them up and build nice labs with those. You know, that's getting picked clean right now. So crazy. All right, moving on. The poor mischief FedEx. Sierra Montgomery. Do as in play Nintendo. Okay. 8-bit dough as in Nintendo. Okay, cool. Good to know that. That makes sense. Thank you for that, Gallo. All right. Happy Friday, Sierra Montgomery. And Chris Young is in the house. What's up, Chris Young? Submitting 3 resumes today with this on there. Okay, good. How about that? Oh, best of luck to you, Chris. Best of luck to you, my friend. All right, so we're at 10:40. I say we get early into Tech Next. What do you think, guys? Should we do it? Should we just go full Tech Neck already? 20 minutes of Tech Neckery? I think that'd be fun. Let's get into it. I'm going to go to the Hacker News. And I think today what we're going to do is we're just going to run through the headlines. We're going to see what's up. I don't want that. No, that's not what I want. I want to do this because I want to be able to see your comments. The only bad thing about doing TechNex is I kind of miss out on your comments. I need to resize this thing just right. Bing. Bing. Hello. Grab it. There we go. All right. Here we go. It's about time for TechNext. Yeehaw, everybody. Let's do it. Like a greased up pig, let's grab these news articles. Predator spyware. Man, what the hell? I mean, I was already worried about a giant lizard alien coming down and killing me with his laser cannon strapped to his shoulder. Now you're telling me he's in my phone? Intellexa leaks reveals 0 days an ad-based vector for Predator spyware delivery. It just goes to show you how important data is to people that even Predator is trying to get his hands on it. That boy, he getting crazy. He's coming at you. He's got the thing where you can't see him up in them woods. Man, I got to get that for my deer hunt, though, man. When I go on a deer or a hog hunt, I mean, I get pretty camoed up, but I cannot come close to my boy Predator and his ability to blend in to the environment, right? I even cover myself head to toe in deer, just doe urine, just to get them rutting bucks coming after you. And then it's from the deer stand. I will say, though, I like his approach to hunting. Not that it's for people, but, you know, that he actually kind of stalks us down. Where most of us just sit in a tree stand at a corn feed, waiting for him to show up, hit that corn feeder, and you just pop you one. I mean, is that really hunting? It's more like waiting in an execution of a deer. I want to go after him. I want to track him. I want to follow him down and be like, you did a good job there, son. You almost got away, but it wasn't today, was it? All right, let's see here. Intellectual leaks. All right, so that's fun. Predator spyware. Isn't this kind of like that NSO project? What's that? The Pegasus? Man, if Predator could attack Pegasus, that'd be a hell of a fight, wouldn't it? Big old horned horse. I guess he's a winged horse, right? He doesn't have a horn. That's a unicorn. Man. Here we go. Let's see here. Pakistan, is it? All right, something going on in Pakistan with this. Link on WhatsApp from an unknown number, marking the first time civil society member of the country was targeted by Intellexus. I can't pronounce this. I'm sorry. Change your name. That is unpronounceable. Just call yourself Predator, because that's cool. It's about time to watch Predator. If you haven't watched Predator in a while, see that you get to that after the show. Billy dressed up as Predator for Halloween. But it was like if Predator was like type 2 diabetes running around with like a Mountain Dew can all day long, and you haven't lived until you've seen Predator dip spit, because that's just weird. He's got to open those mandibles and spit. Now, he did spit out that blood, that little spurble of blood, so he can do it. It's just my Florida showing. Here. It is indeed. Steph Lewis says her husband's Southern and he can't turn it on and off. You got to learn to hit that switch, or just at the right time. Matches his cup when he's out in his woods. You darn right I do. I can't have some cup giving me away. That's why we do it. It's not a fake accent. No, that's just letting the mask slip. You darn right it is. All right, moving back here. So yeah, predator attack based on simple technical behavior, the infection server, blah, 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 blah. Anywho, one-click links. That's all it is to it, man. Stop clicking links. What are people clicking links for? Are you getting emails that like are just so enticing that you can't help yourself, that you're like, oh, I was not going to click this, but it's all about like 60% off of a deer stand? Hell yes. And then you click in that link. Come on, man. I can go to Bass Pro on my own. I don't need to click the link. If there's a 60% off sale on deer stands or like trail cams or something at Bass Pro, I got that in my bookmarks, baby. You know I don't have to click no stinking link to get to it. And last time I checked, Google still works, right? I mean, we can just verify, right? Does it work? Google. Yeah, it's up. Right? We can go to Bass Pro Shops. I can't spell. Link still works. Get the hell out of my face. Bass Pro. And we're at Bass Pro. I can start looking up deer stands. Booyah. Look at that. Oh, hell. That is a good price. I can save $30 on that. Big Game Hunter. All right, y'all. I'm going to bookmark that. Anyway, Bass Pro. If I need to get there, that was not difficult. I don't need to click the link on my phone. That's just going to have nothing but a bunch of... Man, I got to keep it down. I get too rednecky, I'll start swearing. Oh, let's see. There is not an iota of truth in it. Did Billy write this article? I think Billy might have wrote this article. The findings come from a new joint investigation, blah, blah, blah. All right. Is there anything interesting in here other than don't click links and get popped by Pegasus or Predator? I guess not. Anyway, next article. Enhance Microsoft Intune to optimize endpoint management. I'm sure you can. Getting to yes? Man, is this some sort of weird article about when... Well, anyway, I'm moving on. MSPs. Oh, here's China. Man, China, what are you up to now? CISA reports PRC hackers using Brickstorm for long-term access in the U.S. Is that them turlet cams? Is that crapper cam that Jerry was talking about this morning? Brickstorm? Is that what it's called? Is that what this article is? Hacker News. Hit me. Now, with a brick. Brickstorm doesn't sound good, does it? Long-term access. This sounds like when you leave the door to your trailer open in the trailer park. You forget all about it. It doesn't close all the way because you got drunk one night and kicked it. Now it's warped because it's made of aluminum, right? And then when you try to close it, kind of bounces and you didn't really catch it. You moved on. You got in your Dodge Ram 1500 and went to the job site, right? And then Billy sees your door kind of swinging. He meanders on over and is like, what's going on in here? What the hell is happening up in here? And then he gets butt naked and sits in your Barca Lounger, watches your TV, right? A little bit of The Price is Right. Eats all your food, takes a dump in your crapper because you got that brick cam. And he starts watching. Anyway, he's like, look at this picture of my poop. Why is it so purple? Because, Billy, you got problems inside of you, and you need to see a doctor. Let's see. It's been put to use by the PRC, long-term persistence of compromised systems. Man, is there ever a day that was just not... Like, one day I want to open up the Hacker News, and it's just like, hospital thwarted attempt of Chinese hackers to gain access in their system using blank, blank, blank software. Why is it never that? Why is it always, oh no, we've had a data breach. Oh no, we have ransomware. Oh no, Billy done took a giant turd and took a picture of it and stuck it on the internet. Why is that the news articles every single day? I would bet my bass fishing, my bass boat, that none of these articles are about them stopping something, having actual success. Every now and then we get oh yeah, there's a takedown and blah, blah, blah. But that is the exception, not the rule to the articles. That is for sure. And usually that's already after the fact. They're already doing straight up assholery 24/7, 365, and they finally got around to stopping them, at least in some way, shape, or form. And then they just spin up something new. Because what are you going to do? You're going to send a Delta Force team into Russia and China, black bag these fools, take them to somewhere off site with no tail, no numbers on the tail, kind of airplane ride where they get the rubber hose treatment? No, that's not going to happen. Anyway. Oh, let's see here. What are we doing? Brickstorm is a sophisticated backdoor for VMware. Is that like where I cut a hole in the back end of my trailer so when the cops show up, I can dive out, run into them woods? That's right. One time it happened to Billy. He had to use his trapdoor, right? He dove out. I'm watching this man. Now, he is both drunk and and he's in his skivvies, whitey tighties with a pair of boots on. He's got his Wolverines on with his trucker hat, nothing but whitey tighties, Fruit of the Looms, running through the woods, hollering. I'm like, man, if anybody didn't believe in the skunk ape, they sure do now. I mean, boy's got enough hair on his back, he could braid it. It's crazy. I ain't never seen a hairier man than that man. Let's see. He could give that to Locks of Love. That's how much hair that boy's got on his back. It is insane. Anyway, what were we talking about? Brickstorm enables cyber threat actors to maintain stealthy access and provides capabilities for initiation, persistence, and secure command and control. It's written in Golang, my lang of choice. I do love me some good Golang. Even though I've swerved back to Python a bit. Because it's a snake. I'm going to get me a Python snake tattoo. It's going to be badass. You're going to love it. And at the top, it's going to have that Python logo. It's going to be amazing. Let's see here. Custom implant essentially gives bad actors interactive shell. That sounds bad. Again, isn't this just kind of like welcome to the party, pal, as Jerry likes to say? This is just a day that ends in Y in cybersecurity, I guess. Have I ever seen, Steph Cluis, have I ever seen Run, Ronnie, Run? I know a guy named Ronnie. I've never seen him run, though. If he did, something bad is happening. That's all I know. If I ever see my Ronnie running, I am hauling A. Wherever he's going, I'm heading in the same direction. Because something wrong. Python Piz logo. I love it. What else y'all talking about here? Do I drive a Dodge Ram truck with Monster soda dispenser? Nah, it's just what I did was I created some ballasts. I took out the second gas tank. I just fill it full of Monster, and there's a chiller system hooked up. Comes right into. I got a tap. I stole one. I mean, I got one from a racetrack. One night when I was frequenting their establishment, we'll say. I got me one of them fountain dispensers, just hooked it right up in the truck. It's amazing. Space tacos. Spitting out coffee. Having a good time. That's what we do. All right. Crapper Cam, you darn right, Crapper Cam. All right, what's the next article? We got a few more minutes. That's Summoner. JP Cert confirms active command injection attacks on Array AG gateways. Again, this is not an article that fills me with glee and joy, where I am like, oh, I have chosen the right profession. Can we stop something? Or can we write an article? If it's happening, write the article right? News doesn't always have to be doom and gloom. I know, right? If it bleeds, it leads kind of thing, but jeez, it's a Debbie Downer. No wonder we're the most depressed nation in the world or whatever. Hold on, I want to check that Bass Pro Check one more time. 149. Anywho, command injection attacks on their gateways. Okay, what kind of injection attacks we got on here? I thought I clicked it. I thought I clicked this. Click. Go. A command injection vulnerability in Array Network AG series secure access gateways has been exploited in the wild. Oh man, that seems bad, right? Since August. Oh, pray tell. Probably and most likely on something that they already know is an issue and have had a patch for. My Swami ball. Let me just get out my crystal ball here and tell you what's going to happen. And no, customer data has been, they've only, and your passwords are safe and blah, blah, blah. Pull it straight from whatever playbook you got on the shelf. Deny, right? The vulnerability, which does not have a CVE identifier, was addressed. Okay, good. Well, there's some good news. This is a 0 day. It's rooted array desktop direct remote desktop access solution that allows users to securely access. Really? Is that what it does? It seems like that is not the case. And this is the problem right here. Because I want to access my computer from any location. Because I'm lazy as hell. And so you're basically hiring the Billies of the world. Now, I get it, right? We need to be able to have access to stuff from time to time. But I feel like it's a bridge too far to put everything on the internet. Do VPNs not work? Can you not VPN into your own network and then access the gateway? Like, no outside, only inside traffic is allowed to access these things. Anyway, exploitation of this vulnerability could allow execute arbitrary commands. Yeah, that's what a command injection vulnerability is. Incidents in Japan have exploited shortcomings after drop of web shells. Yep. Fun. My goodness, kids. My goodness. You feel the glow of the dumpster fire. Just, it feels good, man. I just want to sit back, kick up my Red Wings, have a natty ice, and just get so drunk I pass out. Don't do that, by the way. That's a bad idea. One time, I'll tell you a little story before we get done. I was in this band, right? And we were having band practice. I legit thought I was watching a man die alcohol poisoning. I'm sitting there. So this dude shows up. He's a neighbor to my drummer, right? And we're sitting there, and he's like, yeah, he's drinking. Man, this boy, he was drinking like he wanted to die. That was what was up. I ain't never seen anybody pound bush like this man. He was a walking bush can by the end of the evening. So we take a little break. We sit down. We're just chilling. I'm having a little bit of Yukon Jack because why not? Couple that down with some wild turkey. That wild turkey. Now, I ain't going to lie. I'd like some wild turkey. So this dude, foam trucker hat, whole 9 yards, he's probably about 60 years old. He's got about, I don't know, maybe 7 teeth in his head. And they all look basically like he had shoved baked beans in his gums and was using them as teeth. That was the impression that I got when he smiled. From there, so it's pretty late. Homeboy's been pounding Busch Light like crazy. He sits down on the tailgate of the truck and he just kind of gets that 1,000-yard stare off into the distance. And we're like, hey, what's up, killer? You all right there? And he's just kind of staring. We're like, hey, bro, you doing all right? You need to go home. I think it's time to go home. And then he starts making noises. Like I was like, we need to get a priest or something because this dude is possessed. He's just all like, this is what it sounded like. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm talking to the other guys. I'm like, am I the only one seeing what's going on here? And they're like, nah, something's up. And he's just sitting there like, and I'm like, hey, bro, are you dying? Are you legit? Don't go to the light. Just ixnay on the light. Don't, no. And we're looking at him, and all of a sudden, he just projectile vomits. Blah, right? He's just like a vomit-breathing dragon flying over our little party here, spewing forth Busch Light and whatever, Taco Bell he had that earlier. And we're like, whoa, bro. Like, it is, I didn't know if there's a contest for vomiting for distance, this guy is the all-time champion. There is no doubt. Bro went crazy with the vomit. I didn't know. He probably weighed $140 soaking wet, and 40 of that was vomit. And it was just pouring out of him. We're sitting back, and finally, once he gets done retching his guts out, you know what he says? I need a beer. I said, you need to get your ass to the house. You need to go to sleep. This is not good. Listen, it's fine you want to tie one on with the boys, but you got to know your limitations there, son. And my boy came on. He was like, well, you got to go home. You can't stay here. You got to leave. He's like, oh, man, don't be like that. I'm like, I'm going to be like that because we don't want to have to tell the officers and the EMTs, well, yeah, we knew something was wrong, but, he's a grown-ass man. He can do whatever the hell he feels like. And what he felt like doing that night was trying to kill himself through alcohol poisoning. But we did not allow that. We sent him on his way and got him put up in his trailer. And in his bed and tucked in, as I'm sure he probably was just like drooling old vomit and beer onto his pillow, which is not, it's not something he's unused to, I would think. But there you go. Well, there you go, kids. We did some articles today. We had some fun. Hope we had a good time with all this. I got to go to Bass Pro today, apparently. I'm going to check in with chat one last time. We got a few more minutes left that I can go over. I just want to say, hopefully you guys are having a good time listening to my stories and acting like a fool. Every CyberCon needs a red tech. Yeah. Good old tech neck showing up. 149. I love it. Good job. I love that. There's your next career role. What's my next career role? Hunting deer? Heck yeah. I'm going to hunt deer. Morning all. I finished up my physio appointment. Glad to catch the last few minutes of Lord Monster. I'm glad you had a good time and got the ability to check in with us, brother. Did you just say you stole? I didn't say that. I neither can confirm nor deny whether or not how I obtained a fountain drink dispenser in my truck. Brickstorm should be the name of the threat actor group that hacks the toilet cams. Changed my mind. You can't, because that's true story right there. Oh man, I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had some fun. Hope everybody's going to have a great Christmas this year. Daniel Larry, that's two of us who spit out our drinks from laughing at you today, Space Tacos. I'm glad to bring some joy to your lives. You know what? It brings some joy to me too. Finish his story about drunk buddy, but says, and this concludes your weekend safety brief. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Next camera. Oh, I apparently just need to do a call for papers with TechNex, right? We just listen. It's not where I'm going to tell you about the legislation. We're just going to do some stupidity with a redneck accent. It's going to be a great time. Yeah, we got to patent that fountain dispenser. You're darn right, man. Tell me that you would not run out today and buy yourself an F-150 and fully loaded meant it's got a monster dispenser in the cab. I'm just saying, shut up and take my money. That's all there is to that. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Thank you for having a great time. I hope you enjoyed it. Got a couple of chuckles. We will see you next week. Until then, keep hacking.